for another edition of Greauxing Pains. This guy to my right, your left, is Ron Taylor, everybody. Paid regular at the Comedy Store.
Oh, yeah.
You know, great hair, funny guy. You said just for laughs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just for laughs. Just open for Patton Oswalt. Just to name a few things, you know. We out here comedy balling, you know. So comedy balling is when you on these stages. So Ron, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, taking the time, stop by. I'm glad you wore black. We out here matching, you know. We got the froze and the clothes and the fist and the
Right. Yeah, I was out yesterday drinking a lot. Like so much. I didn't even remember how I got home. My shoes weren't tied, so I knew like somebody took my clothes off. Because I don't know the time my shoes when I take them off. It's like, who did this? I don't know who did.
Now I have to retie them. Like,
you know. That's about it, you know, out here drinking and telling jokes.
Okay, that's real. I love it.
One of them I'm going to stop doing pretty soon.
Which one is that?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out. It might be jokes, it might be drinking, because drinking is really affecting my jokes. But jokes is really affecting my drinking.
It is like a relationship with that.
Because it's like, I'm out drinking, just having a good time, and then now I got to tell jokes, and it's like, hey, fuck you, jokes. I've got drinking to do. I didn't drink.
Right, it gets in the way.
Alcohol.
I mean, it's a tricky relationship because like I'm doing right now. I'm doing 30 days no alcohol for January, right?
Why?
Because, well, first of all, I needed some of my swelling to go down. Because you know some of the bloat was definitely from that water retention that you but really no more so I was like I want to make sure that I still love comedy, and I was like I need to not drink for 3 days to make sure I do. I knew I did, but it's like, you know, when you're like, oh man, it's tough, let me make sure it's still worth it, but I gotta be clear to receive, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
I did sober October.
yeah, I was like, Halloween's in that month. That's what killed it for me.
I mean, it was so many things I couldn't do. Like, I did 2 comedy festivals, and comedy festivals typically don't pay you, but all the drinks are free. So half of what people go for the festivals for, I didn't get to do. Yeah. And then, like I said, Halloween, didn't drink then. And my birthday is in October, so I didn't drink my birthday either.
No, that's good that you did that.
It was okay. That's the thing, man. Like, sobriety is kind of overrated. Like, he was like, man, you're going to be so much clearer. I was like, I'm not. I'm just bored. And it's not like life is boring or anything, but drinking is so fun.
Yeah.
And I really don't, like, I don't ever, like, crave drinks. It's just I'm out.
Yeah, you're out. Like, this thing, like, when you're a comedian, you're out. Like, and that's everything. You're always at a club or a bar
yeah, and you're sitting there, and it's like everybody else is sipping brews, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have a beer, and I'll have a beer, and then somebody will buy me a shot, and then somebody will challenge me, and I'm like, fuck you, pussy, you can't, you know. And
I'll drink it
and then it becomes a thing, but you know, I'm probably done. 2019, I'm probably done.
Well, you're not done.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, this is my thing, because like with the sobriety thing, you're right, because I've noticed that the days are longer when you sober. Like this, the day I can't believe it's only the 10th. Like it's ever since, because I started on the 2nd, because I was like, you know, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, they're like, you know, a drinking pair package. You know, it's like a joint pack. So, but honestly, I was like, man, if I was drinking, it would be March by now. Like, but because I'm not drinking, it's only January 10th. Yeah. It's like I'm really feeling every minute, every second. I just am like, whoo! It's like, and that's a good. That's a good thing. It's helping, you know, because I'm writing new material right now and just kind of going through a transition, and so I definitely all that was factored into the decision. But, whoo, man, I'm like, man, it's not even the 15th. I don't have like, but it's
And then like drinking too, and then I'll be done. I know this is not the drinking show, but like so, I just drink and then I have whiskey dick, and then I'll go get gas station dick pills.
No, don't get those.
Yeah, no. But boy, do they work.
They do work? I thought they were scams.
No, fuck
Okay.
no. They
Okay.
work,
Okay.
sister. They work. And I've destroyed some girls on those gas station dick pills. But they give you a headache.
Gas station dick pill?
They make your dick bigger than you've ever seen it. Like,
Oh.
it looked like another dick. It's like, this is crazy. Like, your dick be so hard it hurt sometimes. And your head be hurting. And you see flashes of blue lights when you take gas. Like, I would imagine Viagra don't do that.
Yeah.
You probably get all the dick force and no headache. But gas station dick pills, you get dick force and a banging
It's like
headache.
the Four Loko of dick pills.
Oh man, it's like it's
It's
scary.
like-
And girls know, they can tell. They can tell. They're like, this is some other dick. This is like rock solid. This don't even feel human. I feel like I'm fucking a toy right now. And I'm like, shut up, bitch, can I be drunk? Shut up, bitch. You fucking take it.
Oh,
All right, consensually though. Anyway, they like that.
Oh man. Yeah.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Taylor. Oh man, Ron, that's great. Well, because, all right. So what I want to ask you is, we've all gone through things, especially comedians. Everybody goes through stuff, but comedians, like we go through things and then we get to put it in our comedy and like put it out there. But like, what is a time in your life or something you've ever experienced that was tough to get through, but and then what was the lesson you learned from it though? Because there's always a lesson, right?
When you asked me this and told me about this show, I tried to think about it, and I felt like I don't know that I have gotten past anything. I don't think I've accomplished anything. I mean, I've accomplished stuff, but it's like, man, it was so hard and I overcame. I don't think anything.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about other things. I'm not certain that I register the hardship of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just do it. But the only thing that I could really think about was there's this thing. So when I'm from Detroit.
Okay.
So when I moved from Detroit to Los Angeles about 3 years ago, it was 2015, and almost 4 now. And I had this script idea, and I wrote out the script, like 6 episodes of this idea. I just jotted the idea of each episode, and then I linked up with a production company, and I was like, we like this. We like the idea. Just condense it. So instead of me writing, one pilot or 1 episode or like 6 episodes, they wanted the highlights of each episode in 1 pilot, which is very difficult to do, right? It turned it into a movie, damn near.
Yeah.
So I got halfway through the script, and then one of the producers from the production company just left, and they were paying me to write it. So I was like, well, fuck this, I'm not getting paid, I don't have to finish. And that sat in my computer for like a year. Like a year of a half-written, and I was really excited about the idea. A half-written script just sat for about a year, and then the production company hit me back up like, "Hey, bitch, where's our script?" And I was like, "Y'all left."
I've been drinking.
Yeah, And then I had to go back and finish it, but then my computer crashed, so I had to redo half of it. Long story short, there's like, if you finish this in a week, we'll give you some money, and I think I waited till the night before. Just a procrastinator, a piece of shit procrastinator. And I finished it, and it was hard. I had to sit down and do it. And what I realized was writing, because I have ideas, but the actual it just gets tedious. But it's one of those things where it's like you dread it until you get into it. So once I actually did it, and it was like, oh, I would do everything except for sit down and write. I'm like, I'm gonna exercise first, and then I had the energy to write. I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap first. I had the energy to write. I'm gonna jerk off first, and then I won't be thinking. Yeah, then I won't be thinking about fucking while I'm writing this pilot. And I gotta go do a set. I got to do a set so my juices can get the flow and so I can write. And it was like, time made me have to sit down. I wish I could say that I just was like, I'm gonna do it, but it was like, you've got 3 hours to do this. So you've got to do it because you need the money or you're going to get kicked out of your apartment. So I sat down and I just got into the shit and I did it. And I realized like, oh, when you are in it, you'll get over it. And so it's like you just gotta just jump in. You might not want to do it, but just jump in. And once you're in, it's like, oh, this ain't that bad.
Isn't that amazing though? That like, you know, we make all this time so that we can like, we think we need all this time to get something done, but then you realize like, no, like if I have to get this done, like you said, in 3 hours, you can do it. To just, you know, come home and like be a homemaker and cook, and then you end up cheating on her with a girl who like smokes weed all day and paints. Like
what? What are you talking about? That's very specific.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, like this.
That bitch over there smoking. What?
Smoking, painting, and meditating. Like,
what's that girl? Oh, that's some fucking Love Jones shit. Because what happens when you just like somebody so much? Just guys and girls alike. You like somebody so much, you forget to present yourself. You forget to present yourself. You forget what you even bring to the table because you just so want that.
Yeah.
But that's not. This is not a relationship. A relationship is this, right? So
yes,
when you're doing this
yeah.
all the time, when you just like trying to grab or whatever, or just attain something without carrying yourself, then you know you'll lose all the time, and that's just like peers. So that's what I learned. So now when I go up to girls, it's not like it's like, hey, what's up? You want a drink? Whatever. Yeah. Confident. And then I do that. Anyway.
Okay. That's a metaphor for intercourse, not abuse.
No, I meant punch.
Okay. All right. So.
Punch.
All
Here's
right.
the thing: if you turn it over, right? Then it's not abuse.
This is.
But you have to pivot from your.
Ron, thank you so much for minus all the assault moves. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing like those lessons. Where are you at next? Where can we catch you coming up?
What's today? Thursday.
Today's Thursday, but yeah, so anything over the next month or two or coming weeks,
I'll be in La Jolla with Steve Simone and Ari Shafir at the La Jolla Comedy Store. At the end of January, I'll be in Detroit at the Motor City Soundboard with Tony Rock and Tony Roberts. I've got a TV show that just came out. Called FUBD, which I wrote on and starred in. It's on Fuse TV now. I didn't even realize that. I just thought about that. I haven't even seen it. I don't have a TV, so I won't be able to see it. But that's out now. And yeah. So long story short, when I came to, I probably should have said this instead of all that fucking girl stuff. But when I moved from Detroit to LA, I lived in a van for 2 years. It's a whole thing.
Yes, I saw it though. It was decked out. You had a mattress, everything.
Yeah. It was whole thing, but I'm gonna start my cooking show back up. I used to cook in my van. You'll see it, and you can follow me at Comedian Ron T on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On Instagram, you'll see some of these stupid ass videos that I have to do now because you have to do videos if you want to be famous. Yeah, and
but you'll be being yourself when you do them.
Yeah, I'm gonna headbutt Miss Chelsea.
Absolutely not. The devil is a liar.
And I guarantee you she'll like it.
And I absolutely will not. And Ron will not exist anymore. They're going to have to erase his name from the wall because he will no longer be with us. Okay? So I want everyone to be clear. Don't try me. Okay?
Yeah.
Survive R. Kelly. Okay?
Oh,
no.
Jesus Christ. Don't put me in that category.
He's not. Okay, he's not R. Kelly. Don't worry. I don't know if you can't sing anyway. It's cool, right?
No, I don't think I can sing.
Right, there we go. So you're safe.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of Greauxing Pains. This is Ron Taylor. See you soon. We'll be right back. Guess what? We're back. Because it's another edition of Greaux Money. And Nnete is back. Hello. I didn't try the British accent this time, but we scratched that, okay? I'm going to try to talk like sultry, like sultry people have money.
Yes.
I don't know, like, I'm just talking Nigerian. Because clearly Nigerians have money because Nnete has been getting us together. If you haven't seen these last 2 episodes, I mean, she has just been dropping the bombs. So,
You know, you can do it. You can do it.
She giving me hope over here. Like, I thought I was lost, and now I feel like I'm like,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
You'll be fine.
She's like the Pied Piper for broke people. She's
no. I ain't Pied Piper for nothing. I ain't Pied Piper for nothing. You done seen Surviving R. Kelly. I ain't Pied Piper for nothing.
It's not that R. Kelly ruined Pied Piper. It's
you
just
a lot. I'm not.
I know, man. R. Kelly just.
I'm just Nnete. I ain't got nothing with Pied Piper. Go ahead.
I mean, I'll think of a better metaphor, but you basically helping us, step away out of the debt darkness.
Exactly. Into growing your money.
Growing money. Okay.
Yeah, you good.
Thank you, boo. So it's tax season.
Yes.
Okay. This is taxes is another thing that can be very daunting for people. What I want to first talk about is filing, of course.
Okay.
Which is a big step. And now, what would you suggest? Because you can file yourself online.
Right.
You got TurboTax and HR Block online. But at what point do you think somebody should continue to file for themselves? And then at what point should you maybe make the investment and pay an accountant or pay someone outside of yourself?
Okay. Well, I always think that it's always personal preference. If you do not like dealing with the numbers, you're not going to maximize your refunds. Go ahead and hire somebody, because guess what? Your tax preparer, the amount of money you pay them is also, you can write that off the next year.
Really?
So it doesn't matter. If you pay TurboTax or whomever $130, next year there's literally a spot for how much did you pay to get your taxes done. $130, you write it off for the next year. So it's always about what you're comfortable with.
Well, now that I get the money back.
It's another write-off. Yeah.
Okay. See, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the next thing I want to discuss. So, write-offs.
Yes.
Because
that's my favorite part.
This is for me personally.
Yeah.
This is a topic that I always feel overwhelmed about.
Understandable.
And it's like, because you don't know what you can write off, and then there's always that fear. Everyone's like, I don't have the receipts, or I don't want to get the IRS to come after me, or whatever. But what are some tips for write-offs? I don't know.
Okay, so one of the things that I really suggest, and it helps me, is that, and let me just say this, girl, I used to be a tax person too. I did taxes out here in Compton. I lasted 3 days because they was cussing me out, and I was like, no. What we not gonna do is do that. So I just helped my friend. We're not gonna do that, right? Nah, okay. So the easiest way, I think, to track your write-offs is to use one card for everything. Because even if you don't need the receipt unless you get audited. And so the key is, of course, not to get audited, but the best way to keep a record, if you do everything on one credit card, you can literally go through at the end of the month, if you're that diligent. I am not. But literally, and highlight, okay, this was all for my gas, this was all for clothes for this was all my parking, because I had auditions and I had to, LA, you gotta pay for parking for everything. So all of my parking.
You gotta pay to breathe. You walk out your house and breathe, that's $30.
That's why I'm doing shallow breaths right now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to, suck up too much.
I'll be holding my breath. Okay. I'm not talking to the bus.
So I like to do that. I like to go through my credit card or my debit. I use my debit card because I don't really charge a lot of stuff unless I have to. But yeah, I go through my debit card and I just see all of the expenses. There's some things that and there's a lot of great references online, that is literally tax deductions for performers. You can write off your hair, your clothes, like I said, your parking, your mileage driving to the open mics, driving to the shows. You can write off online, you need the internet.
Yeah,
that's a write-off, a portion of that, because some of it you might use for entertainment, but you use for your personal entertainment, not for your entertainment business. But also, if you have anywhere you live somewhere, and that's our home office, you write off a portion of that. You can write off damn near everything.
So see, that's the thing. So okay, now you mentioned home office, because that's the other thing too. A lot of people have their own businesses.
Yeah.
And or a lot of people are generating money online now.
Right. Which, by the way, that means your internet is a write-off, your website is a write-off. All of that are all included, because it's all the cost of you doing business.
Oh, so anything that you have to pay for doing business, but that includes, now, does that include things like gas? Does that include
absolutely. Girl, my mileage, and if you're diligent, you can track it. There's some cool apps that are free. This one that's called Stride Tax. I just started using that. As soon as you start driving, they'll be like, are you driving for work? Yes, and you can put in there whether it's, entertainment, rideshare, real estate, whatever it is.
And you were saying that you can write off even a parking meter.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's a parking expense.
Yes, if you're parking.
When I'm going to go to an audition, I'm not I used trying to go find a free parking. Now it's $5. Let me just go ahead and park here or put this meter in, and then it's I know all of the city of Houston City of Houston. I think I'm H-Town right now. City of Los Angeles. Parking meters that I need to go to. Yeah. No, really, it is. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, that's there. And if you ever, God forbid you get audited, you have the email of, oh, this was your audition. This is the time you went. And you can just forward them everything. Who cares? They're not gonna.
So they're saying there's apps out there that we can access.
Yeah, there's apps. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's apps. There's a lot of if you just Google write-offs for performers, get the one that's most recent. There are some tax experts online that really give a lot of free information. If you don't want to pay them, they have a list of these are all your write-offs. Bam, right here. And you just have to go through. What I do is I organize all my stuff, and then I'll sit through and then just get all my totals before I even open up the tax software. Okay. I'm I know everything that I'm writing off. It's all on one sheet of paper, and now I'm just plugging in numbers.
That's so deep.
It's just
because that's the thing too. Because now you just put me on game with something recently that I didn't even know you could do, and I think this might be more for people that own their own businesses and stuff. But you can file your taxes.
You can do quarterly.
Yeah, I had no idea until you told me this.
I'm not diligent like that, but you can do that. When I had a store, that was also an option just so you can stay on top of things. But I was I was trying to do my own. I was doing too much at that time. Now at that time, I needed to hire somebody, and I eventually did, a payroll service. Everything's available online that you can what is it called? Dictate or give some of that problems away.
Yeah,
delegate. There we go.
Delegate. Right.
It's the aroma in the air, the short-term memory that's killing me right now. So you can delegate some of those things so that it makes it easier. Because if you are filing it quarterly, it's going to be easier for you to see what you're spending, what you're writing off, and everything. But you have to be really diligent to keeping your receipt. And I have everything and I figure it out, but I don't file my taxes until I need money.
Okay.
That's real. That's real.
That's the time to do it.
I just did my 2017 taxes in December.
Wait, when you told me you just got a refund, I was like, girl, how you get a refund?
Yes, on the first. Well, because here's the thing, if you owe money is when you need to really pay your taxes.
Okay.
Now, if you're having a hard time getting all your information together, you can always ask for an extension. By April 15th, you can fill out this paper, in which I used to fill, because I used to always do mine in October, because I'm just I don't know, I just don't like doing it April 15th. But you can get
it's close to summer.
I'm just not dealing with it. I just not mine. I just could not deal with it. Because all the write-offs, because I used to not be as organized in my write-offs. So I would just kind of put that off until October, but then also it's I'm good until I need some money. So I was like, okay, it's about to be the end of the year. Oh, this government shutting down. Let me go ahead and put these No, seriously. I was like, he tripping. I filed and I got my refund on the 1st. I was like, look at God. And then I just got my state one back today. I'm so trifling, but so real.
No, but that works. Okay, now one last question I want to ask you, because this is something else, because I've heard, and I don't know if this is true. Is it true that if you make under a certain amount of money, I don't know if somebody said $30,000 or $20,000, is it true that you don't have to file your taxes, or that you, and this is again things that I've heard, so that's why I want you to help me clarify. Right. So because I've heard that, I've also heard that if you make under $50,000 a year, that your likelihood of getting audited is lower. I don't know. And that's something that maybe I don't even know if you
what's so interesting is that, the chances of getting audited, I know somebody personally that got audited over I think it was $63. It was so stupid. Oh. And, but they had all their stuff and they didn't even have a lot of write-offs. And it was it was just a miscommunication. And I think the government ended up giving them more money back. I don't know the system of being audited. Yeah. I've just always for instance, at certain times when I was making a lot of money, I would have somebody else. When I was in the process of making a big purchase of a house, I was like, let me get somebody else to do these taxes. And when I first started taking a lot of write-offs, now that my money looking a little different, I do my own taxes and I'm diligent. But my write-offs and stuff, they're pretty consistent. The main thing that changes is how much income I brought in, and because the categories are the same, and it just has to make sense, as far as if you're not making any money, don't put that you're writing off all of this extra stuff that clearly you can't afford to pay for it. You know what I mean?
See,
It has to make sense, you know? And then
Yeah.
as far as not filing taxes, there is a number where you don't have to file taxes, but it's way lower than 20, 30,000. Like,
Okay.
it's way below that. And even me, I've been filing taxes and doing my taxes probably since I was 16.
Okay.
Like, I had my first job at 15, you know? So I've been doing and I've always just done my taxes because I was always trying to get a refund. And I've gotten a refund almost every year except for 1 year.
What happened that
I made too much money.
Okay.
I had to I was like, damn, they got that. They got that. I was like, that sucks. You know what I mean? But yeah, typically, you know, especially if you're a performer, a freelancer, you're most likely, you know, the starting ranges and stuff gonna get some money back or break even.
Okay.
Most likely, if you do your write-offs properly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again,
You're very welcome.
enlightened.
Okay.
Over here. Okay, so obviously tax is a loaded subject, so we're going to continue more of this next week. We're going to have taxes part 2, again, with the lovely Nnete.
Yes.
And
Nnete.
And that's at Nnete.
Perfect.
On IG
And Twitter.
and all the socials.
Yeah, it'll be me.
Okay. Cheers. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Hey, y'all. So here we are, yet again at another Grow Up. And this one, I want to go into the family a little bit because the first group of people that needs to grow up is parents. Yes, and even though y'all are old and grown and like, but y'all still need to grow up because here's the thing I've noticed about certain parents. Like, a lot of times parents and like, you know, will say things and like feel like they need to like intervene on their kids' lives. Like lately my mom, you know, we've been FaceTiming more, you know, and this is the thing, I remember how much I like talking to my mom. I love talking to my mom always, no matter what. But when I do talk to her on FaceTime, she brings a lot of shade. You know, my mom loves to bring a lot of shade. And she'll be like, oh, well, you know, you need to stop smoking cigarettes. I did quit smoking cigarettes 2 months ago, guys. So I'm happy about that. But I did smoke cigarettes for 4 years. And my mom would always be like, oh, yeah, you know, your voice don't sound like it did when you were 12. I'm like, Mom, a lot has changed since I was 12, okay? I used to get relaxers. I used to get, you know, get beat up. You know, I was a virgin. Like, a lot of things have changed, okay, since I was 12. So it's funny that I feel like parents a lot of times like to go and backtrack and be like, you're not like this anymore. You're not like that anymore. And it's like, parents, I need y'all to come to the present, okay? And I know that this happens a lot with parents where it's like your kids get older and you start feeling like, oh man, I'm older and all I gotta do is worry about my kids. No, you have a whole second life to live, girl, because trust and believe, let me have some kids when they get grown. I'm out, okay? I'm on a plane somewhere, I'm on vacation, okay? I'm smoking all the weed I want, I'm trying drugs I ain't never tried before, like, I'm getting my life, okay? I'm spending money and not thinking about, I'm getting my life, okay? Like, parents, I mean, like, just stop calling your kids 18 times a day talking about, you know, you need to do this and you ain't doing enough of that. And like, what you doing but bothering me? You ain't doing nothing but bothering me, okay? I love you, but man, like, go to the spa and relax. Like, I'm not even in the house. Just, all right, that body got, but honestly, like, I think that's the thing about parents. I really think parents need to, you know, stop trying to like project so much on your children. And to the point where it crushes them. Like, cause kids, we do want our parents to be proud of us. We want y'all to be proud of us. We want y'all to give us the thumbs up and everything. But some of y'all standards is too high. I mean, my gosh, y'all be like, oh man, you're 30, you ain't got no husband and no kids. I'm like, listen, there's a lot of like girls that have lowered their standards. So it's really hard to get, these good guys don't have to try no more. Okay, so it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna get married at 30. Okay, it's gonna be a little delay, and that's fine. And it's like now you tell, as a kid, you tell your parent, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting to know myself, I'm not dating right now. They're like, oh, hurry up, you know? Like, oh, the clock is ticking. Yeah, the clock's always ticking, okay? So parents, please just, with your kids grown, let them just make a mistake, okay? Like, let them go and go on a vacation, please. You've earned it, okay? I'm raised, I'm alive, you didn't kill me, I'm here. Now, on the flip side, kids, adult kids, if your parents are cutting you checks and paying your bills, okay, you need to stop talking trash about your parents, okay? Let me be honest, all right? It's too many people that are in their 40s and 50s that are getting their rent paid by mama and daddy. Like, why are you dipping in your mama's retirement fund? Okay, like, what your mama's retirement fund is tapped out because you want to live in West Hollywood, you know, and have like a sunset view and a pool and a hot tub for $2,000 a month and no job. And your mama retirement gone. She 52. She ain't even retired yet. It's already gone. Her 401k tapped out. Like, some of y'all need to cash your parents back out because y'all are out here acting like, oh no, I can do what I want, and my mom, it gets on my nerves, and my dad, it like so frustrates me. They frustrate you, until the 1st, the 15th, the 8th, whenever that credit card bill, all of a sudden it's like, hey mom, hey dad, like, get a real relationship with your parents, okay? And that's the thing, like, you ever notice, like, when you have friends, like, if there's a group of friends and there's one friend that always, like, needs somebody to pay for them or always needs a ride, I mean, yeah, the need friend, okay? After a while, the need friend gets pushed out because you're not pulling your weight. And I feel like it's our responsibility as adult kids to make sure that we do stay connected with our parents. Like, call your folks, even if they get on your last nerve, call them at least once a quarter. Like, I don't know, like, it depending on the irritation level. I don't want nobody to bust no blood vessels, but just call your parents, okay? But also, grow up to the point where you can take care of yourself, so you don't have to, like, you know, call your mommy and your daddy for this or for that. And listen, I'm no angel, okay? I have definitely been in situations where I call, but I'm a hustler, okay? I will get on the ground and work, and I will, well, wait, that sounded weird. Not in that way. I won't get on the ground in that way. This is a non-sexual no. This has never been for purchase. So, but what I'm saying is I will, like, you know, work at a restaurant. I will wash dishes. I will mow a lawn. Like, I will be an adult and be accountable, okay? Don't chill for 29 days, not shop when rent is due. Like, oh, rent, oh no, this thing that comes every month. Oh, mom, dad, like, no. Grow up and pay your bills, okay? Figure it out, hustle it up, and call your parents and build a real relationship that's not based on money, okay? Stop this only calling your parents when you need a check and all that. Listen, they gave up a lot to have you, okay? Do not ever forget that your parents gave up a lot. They gave up sex in the kitchen for you, okay? Your parents gave up sex in the kitchen for you to exist, okay? Because you could walk out at 3 years old and just want a snack. So, you know, now they had to keep it to the bedroom. That alone, okay? You should make sure your parents get cashed out, okay? Because, okay. There we are, folks. Parents, live your life and let your kids make their own mistakes. And children, stop ragging on your folks, especially if they cut these checks, okay? Like, get your bills paid. Figure it out. And this has been another edition of Grow Up. As always, love and appreciate you guys, and cheers.